I am always hearing, I want to be like Jesus. I want to do what Jesus do. I want to have the Christ-like mind consciousness. Those statements that people make in church, or even people who don't go to church, these are things that people say. I want to be more aware. I want to have, that higher mind. This is how you know that there is a God inside of us in our core, because we're not just our bodies. We are literally spirits having a human experience. We are not human beings. We are being spirits, being human. So, in the Bible it says we are created in God's likeness. We are created in the very essence, in the likeness of the source. And Jesus definitely showed us how it is and what it is like to walk with no fear. And before I wanted to say the fear part, I wanted to get this out first, because we first have to get rid of the fear of doing things the way we think. We have to change our minds, have the renewing of your mind. We have to change how we think. That causes us to walk and speak out of fear. Like, what are those self-limited beliefs that you believe, and how think about how you grew up and how you was conditioned from how other people taught you and showed you throughout life. There's a lot of things that we are connected to and we go by because of how other people raised us, how other people taught us their ways. And we have our own way. That's why we have to go in. We have to seek the kingdom within us. The kingdom of heaven is inside of us. It's how we think. This imaginary hell thing that people like to say is literally all our mindset. Heaven is how we think. Heaven is peace, love, joy, and every high vibration, authenticity, high vibrational energy that we exude, and doing these things, especially walking without fear. This is heaven. That is the kingdom that we hold inside of us. So this definitely takes discipline. It takes action to embody this godlike energy. We are gods. We are definitely goddesses and gods. We exude already, some of us exude already the Christ-like consciousness. And it doesn't mean that we are perfect, because we are still spirits having a human experience. Being human is not easy sometimes. We can easily get strayed away from our true self, especially by the things that we listen to, the things that we adopt from other people. We have to be very, very mindful and careful of the things that we choose to adopt from outside of us, because everything that we need is in the inside. That's why they say we are the church. We don't need a pastor. We don't need a church to become whole. But I'm not saying stop going to church, not saying stop listening to your pastor, but I am saying that some people really operate off, if my pastor didn't say this, it's not real. If my pastor didn't say this, if I don't go by what my pastor say, I'm going to hell. You're literally condemning yourself and, causing yourself to go in a rabbit hole. But, we are the church. You are the church. And you have to embody that Christ-like mind consciousness in order to feel the kingdom of heaven within inside of you. You become brighter. Your skin becomes brighter. You start to think different. And sometimes when you're around people who are not doing the work that you are doing, it's going to cause friction, because they're not familiar with that mindset. They're not familiar with embodying Christ-like mind consciousness, because they're too focused on information and go about things from the outside of them. They're seeking for validation still. They're still people pleasing. They are still not going within. So it's going to cause friction with a lot of people that you encounter, or the people that you are, surrounded by. But anyways, I think that's really all I needed to say as I'm doing this walk, a morning walk. Yeah, not gonna go any further, but this will reach the people who needs to hear this, and the people who needs to hear this will understand and possibly shift some mindsets and actually think. In the Bible, it says when a child is curious, and when the child, let me not remix it. You have to become curious, because when you are ready to be taught, a teacher appears. And that's the best way I can summarize it and interpret it from the Bible. I'm pretty sure it says something else, but basically, when you are ready to be taught, a teacher appears. So yes, you have to be very curious. Think about the things that you believe. Think about the things think about what you're doing now that is not serving you. You have to shift your identity into a higher form and continuously do that no matter what. So peace, baby. Peace.